Hey guys, this is Sam Moses. I'm doing a short little gameplay discussion series that I'm going to be uploading to YouTube that will be discussing Red Dead Redemption 2, which is what I'm playing right here, right now. So first, this first video is actually just going to be a quick little synopsis and also a quick run through of the gameplay mechanics. This game has a lot to unpack, so I'm not going to actually mention everything the game has to offer mechanically and also story wise because I don't want to spoil everything for you. But it is going to be a quick run through. So I just loaded in. This being Red Dead Redemption 2, I just want to say real quick this game is gorgeous, unbelievably so. Give me one second. The grass is amazing, the textures are amazing, the world feels alive. I can go on forever about why this game is incredibly special in terms of just composition alone. I'm a film major. I'm a huge movies, want to make movies, and this game is an absolute treat. Rockstar really understands how to compose a scene in the overworld, which is nuts to me. So anyways, so Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, which came out back all the way in 2010, which is insane. It's been a long way, 8 years. And the first one was about you playing John Marston, who was hunting down his former gang members of the Dutch Van der Linde gang. And that one takes place in 1911. This one is actually a prequel. Takes place in 1899. You're playing Arthur Morgan, who is right here. Love Arthur Morgan. Probably one of my favorite characters in a video game of all time. And actually, Arthur, you can customize, shave his beard, and wear his hat, change his outfit. So my Arthur is actually going to look completely different from other people's Arthurs for sure. So the game, you play Arthur Morgan, you're Dutch's kind of right-hand man, and it tells the story of how everything kind of went to shit. And just story-wise, I do have to say I really commend Rockstar by taking advantage of the fact that this is a prequel. Not very often prequels stories don't work, but the inevitability of the end of the West is definitely foreshadowed very well in this game, and the fact that you know it all goes to shit really helps you identify with Arthur, who often feels the same way. It's fantastic. I can talk about that, of course, later. I gotta keep focused or I'll keep getting distracted. But so gameplay. I don't even know where to start. And just to preface, I am playing without the HUD. First playthrough I did with the HUD, and this is my second one. I'm playing without it, and it's surprisingly fantastic. Really lets you set in the world. Ooh, let me get out of this guy's way. It's fantastic. If you play it through with the HUD at least once, but every now and then just turn it off completely. It's really lets you soak in the world and makes you stop looking at that mini map in the left hand corner. So anyways, gameplay mechanics. So it is an open world game. It has main missions, side missions, and random world events primarily. And side activities, you can go hunting, you can play poker, fishing, five-finger fillet, bounty hunting. You can even go ahead and pick some flowers if you wanted to. Actually, speaking of which, are there some flowers nearby? No, I don't think so. It's just tons and tons of stuff to do if you want. Like I could, and that's not all, obviously. You can go rob people, you can rob general stores, you can just go explore, and it's insane. The world is insane. You do have a challenge list that you can also participate in. So actually I'm going to turn on my mini map and also just my HUD in general for this next little rundown. Just so you have an idea of what I'm actually talking about. Let's see. So we have a bottom left hand corner. We have our mini map, we have our missions, and also our campsite at the top towards the west. So I'm actually going to hit down on the D-pad and show my course. So these are the courses. Oh, what the heck? This is a perfect example of what the random events are in the side missions. And this is also going to show off combat a little bit. Oh my god, did they shot my horse? Oh man. There's a melee combat in this as well, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I think it's really satisfying. Oh, somebody reported a crime. Oh man, this is so much that I have to talk about. So this game is quite deep, I have to say. It's putting it lightly. Feed my horse. I'm just gonna have to get out of here. I don't even know what my crime was. It's okay. Perfect example. So there is something called the cores. They're investigating what was going on. That was insane. I've never seen that before. So anyways, so that was an ambush by yes, I know I'm wanted. Fellow gang. That stuff can happen. So back to what I was talking about. So the core system. So you have on the bottom left hand corner you can see I have my health, my stamina, and the Deadeye. And how that works is that it drains slowly over time. It's kind of like a survival system, but you don't get penalized as heavily. Like, you won't start dying if they go empty, but you know, you might not run as fast. Well, if you get shot without your heart all the way down, then you're dead. Your Deadeye just gets all wobbly if your core is empty. Just all these like little small gameplay things can get affected. However, also you can refill these by eating or drinking or smoking cigarettes actually through the items list which I have. So let's see. So if I wanted to, I could eat a chocolate bar. And I ate a chocolate bar. Now I'm all topped up and ready to go. But what's also really cool is a nice little effect is depending on how little or how much you eat, Arthur will gain or lose weight. So you can become real fat. You can also become real skinny. And that actually has a payoff later in the story in terms of mechanic, which I really, really love. Oh my gosh, this is like I'm turning into Snow White. Wow, okay. So yeah, so combat. Combat to go over. Oh, this game. I love it so much. To go over combat. So combat is probably the weakest, not weakest, but most basic and by the numbers system in this game, in my opinion. It is cover based, and there is something called Deadeye. And Deadeye, you actually saw me use back there. Deadeye is you hold left, you aim your weapon out, you hit the right thumbstick, go slow motion, you can mark targets, and then he'll shoot them all down. It's actually probably one of the saving grace of the combat system. Really makes you feel like a cool sharpshooter, which is awesome. So along with that, you have melee combat, which you also saw. You can tackle dudes, punch them. There's actually a full fist fighting system, so you can get a fist fight with dodges and parries, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, but you can grapple, and it's enough and it doesn't happen too often. So when it does happen, it's a nice, refreshing change of pace, and I actually like it quite a bit. And then what else we got? So another thing is you also have 4 weapons on you at all times. You can't have more, but you can definitely have less. So if I get off my horse right now, I only have 2. So if I hold L1, you can see I have my double action and my show field, and I don't have anything else. However, if I wanted an additional gun, I can hold L1, L2, R2. I can pull a shotgun for my horse. So what the system means is that your horse is kind of like your backpack. Without your horse, you can't pull out different weapons or different guns. So whatever is on you on the time is what you're going to be using in that moment. As you saw back there when I got ambushed and I got flung off my horse, I didn't have my shotgun out, so I only had my pistols to work with. So really, your horse is a big deal, which actually leads perfectly into how your horses work. So the horse is a whole other mechanic on itself. So what your horse is that you have this thing called bond level. You can buy horses at stables. You can even go out in the world and tame one for yourself. This one is Mope. Mope's a good guy. I actually got him for pre-order in the game. On my other save, I have another horse that I actually like much more, named Bomb Bomb, B-A-U-M. So you have a bond level with your horse, and that bond level I think goes into 4 different levels. Level 1, after you fulfill that, is the starting one. Level 2, you have, I think you can do this sick move, yeah, the iconic horse move, I guess. And then level 3, you can eventually lock the ability to drift, which is actually super fun. And then level 4, once you've maxed it out, you can hold square, and you actually have like a weird, I don't know what that is called, but you can get around trees. Really, really nice. Oh, he's agitated by predators. So horse is like this living, breathing thing. As you can tell, when the explosion went off, they got scared and kicked me right off. You can hold L3 and calm it down, and that actually will add to your horse bond level. I'm maxed out, so he trusts me quite a bit, but if it's a lower horse, then it gets quite skittish, which is really cool. Along with, you can feed it, and it as well can, its cores, it also has a core system, it has the stamina and health, and you can refill those cores by giving it food, and it also has a dirt system, so you can actually get dirty. So actually I can stop off right over here. I can show you what that looks like. It's actually really nice. People, you get off your horse, you look at it. It's actually freaking disgusting right now. So perfect. So I hit left on the D-pad, I pull out a brush, and I actually brush him down, and he likes that, and he actually gets visibly cleaner, which is actually kind of awesome. And that lets your, I think, your main health core, heart core, whatever, that drains a little bit. It drains faster if your horse is dirty. So it's important to, you know, take care of your horse, and in turn the game kind of rewards you for it. However, your horse can die. If your horse is dead, it's dead. Which is a huge bummer sometimes. Actually, probably the biggest bummer that can happen in this game. So if your horse is dead, that's kind of it. You don't really, you have to go find another horse, buy another horse, or so on, and restart that bonding process all over again. So, you know, if you actually have, like, you actually feel a great sense of loss, because, you know, you get attached to it because you have all these gameplay mechanics that revolve around it. It's a genius system, in my opinion. I think it really is great. Even when it dies, you have to go find the horse's corpse, which is so awful, and actually move your saddle over to your new one. So it's, yeah, it's insane. It's really, really, in my opinion, really well done. There's also something called the honor system, and that, if I hit down on the D-pad, it shows up. So I'm actually right in the middle right now. Depending on your actions in the story, and also just out in the open world, your honor can go up and down. Oh, there's a train coming.
Easy now.
So depending on how high or low your honor is, people react to you differently, and even story bits will change in dialogue, which I think is actually really cool. People are still actually discovering the changes right now. So actually constantly on YouTube, you can find new videos of small changes of dialogue for Arthur or other characters depending on your honor level. And I think the ending also gets a little bit changed too. I really, really like it. I'll get more into it in another video about why the honor system works so much for me as a gameplay system, because again, it's all about payoff. I think this game's a big payoff game. But overall, that's a very quick and dirty rundown of what gameplay is like in this title. It's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here, and I plan on doing that in a couple of future videos. It's insane. This game is incredible, to say the least. So yeah, I think that's gonna, oh, I just totally ran over. I think that's gonna end my first one. I'm actually quite happy. This is I've tried this a couple of times. I think this is the best one so far, so I think this is gonna be a good place for me to stop. And I will be back later with another video. So thanks for listening, and yeah, thanks. See you on the next one.